What's up, everyone? Dr. Nate here. I'm here with Andrew. We're going to be going through some questions about bulging discs today and whether or not they are dangerous and all that good stuff. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, so I know through everybody watching our videos and stuff, they've been kind of familiar with my low back pain. So I'm also indicative of low back pain, if you have seen our other videos. But through my condition, something that I was kind of concerned about, and I've seen a lot of other people concerned about, is a bulging disc serious? So you may not know until you get an MRI, which may or may not be important depending on your condition and how life-threatening it is and stuff like that. But whether or not I have a bulging disc, which I have no idea, is it serious? Or even other people who may have one because they have low back pain like me, is it a serious problem? Is what we want to know.
Yeah, a bulging disc is usually, well, let me first put it this way. If you're having a lot of pain, it may or may not be due to the disc bulge, right? There are quite a few people who, and as we get older, this actually increases, but a lot of people do have bulging discs as present on MRI, but have no symptoms, right? So that's the first thing to note. Now, it doesn't mean that if you have it, that's not causing some of the symptoms that you have, but it has to match with clinical signs. So serious is, I think, a difficult word because it's probably very serious to you if you're watching this video, right? Because your back probably hurts a lot and it might have been hurting for a long time. Maybe you just had imaging done and you found out and you're like, what the heck is a bulging disc? In many cases, it's a normal part of being a human that we have these discs that are bulging, and it's usually not a big deal. We usually don't even know about it. But when our back starts hurting, sometimes they can be indicated. So I'm just going to first describe what a bulging disc is. So essentially, this is our spine right here. These purple segments here, and the red in between is the intervertebral disc, and the intervertebral disc has two components. It has the outer surface, which is more fibrous, the annulus fibrosus, and then in the middle you have this part called the nucleus pulposus, which is more of a kind of a jelly-filled substance. And sometimes what will happen is the jelly part can kind of push outwards a bit, not completely going through that fibrous part, but actually pushing through just a little bit. And that's what's called a disc bulge. It's the smallest type of disc herniation, if you will. So you've got a disc bulge, you have a disc herniation, you have a disc sequestration, which is like a complete, like all the disc material has come out of the space. So all of these have different presentations. Oftentimes, if people have a disc bulge, usually there's not any symptoms for the most part, that we can really point to. With a disc herniation, something that is much larger, that disc material can press out onto various nerve roots, and it can cause some irritation, some inflammation in the area, which is when people will often get like sciatica down the leg, maybe both legs, and in very rare cases, cauda equina syndrome. I think I've maybe worked with one person who I thought had cauda equina over the past 5 years. So it's super rare. It doesn't happen that often and doesn't always require surgery either. So there's that. So to directly answer your question, Andrew, in most cases, disc bulges are not necessarily something that are super dangerous or serious or life-threatening. There is a lot that can be done that's non-surgical and without medication, without injections, without surgery. Sometimes those things can be helpful, but for the most part, there's a lot that you can do movement-wise, and just understanding that it is something that can be taken care of without some drastic measures it gives people a lot of comfort knowing that. So
you mean measures like surgery and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Just knowing that so I can manage this condition without needing to go down that surgical route. I feel much better about that, right? So there's so many people have they come in and the last thing I say is, I think there's hope for you, and they're like, oh, thank God. That's what most people are hoping for, is that that they can improve. This isn't going to be forever. That they can go and do the things that they want to do, whether that's hiking or cycling or jumping around, lifting weights, whatever it is. So it's definitely not something that should cause lifelong disability, if you will.
No, I think it's important to at least just understand that, like, I mean, from my understanding, it's just like, it does seem like a serious problem. I think in today's like kind of society, we make these kind of like really realistic, like kind of like connections with certain like diseases and conditions, and that we make them a big deal than actually what they are. Like a lot of people think,
and that's so 20th century.
It really
is. It's so 20th century. Like, move into the future. Move into the future. Stop believing all this like nonsense from the past. Like, it's in the past. We have the science. We have the technology.
Yeah.
we just know that it's not always this like terrible thing. So yeah, we need to move into the 21st century of our understanding of pain, of our understanding of disc bulges, of our understanding of a lot of different things when it comes to medicine and health for our body. I'm going on a tangent. I'm going on a rant.
No, I think that definitely helped out our viewers quite a bit. I mean, if you guys have any other questions too, like, feel free to comment below on whatever questions you have about disc bulges and whatnot. And Nate can, or not me, but I will reference you to Nate if you reach out to me. But Nate will definitely reach out to any questions you have, like whether it's like pain, conditions, or even just like exercises. We have a lot of videos beneath this one, as you can go back to our channel and see, which we will also link like above or below, and that you guys can see what other types of exercises can help with that. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Anything you want specifically to tell the viewers?
Yes. Let's move into the 21st century. Don't believe everything that you hear or read or see on Instagram and other videos, especially if they're talking doom and gloom. Like, if somebody is talking doom and gloom, just be skeptical, please, especially now. Like, and this applies to everything, not just like your back, but be skeptical. All right, go be a skeptic, and I'll see you in the next video.